players make their way out onto the field of play now. You see White Crane out there in the white shirt, Marques Riscal in the burgundy. We will go through the two lineups for you in a minute. Both sides looking for their first victory in this warm-up Trippetts challenge here in the subsidiary final.
No puede ver nada. So all 8 players now out on the field in front of us.
Semi-finalists, of course, last year in the Gold Cup here, playing against White Crane. The high goal 22 goal Polo this year. Really excited to see what Alexis Cowdray brings to the table as the season goes on. As I mentioned as well, we are exclusively live on Polo Line TV on both of these games this afternoon
and throughout the season
here at Cowdray Park in the high goal. To go through the two lineups quickly for you then. Marques Riscal, they came to come back with the same lineup as last year. Alejandro
at number 1 of Nautical, Santi Sonadas at number 2 of 7, Sapper Cassette at number 3 of 9 goals, and South African Chris McKenzie, he is at the back of 6 goals. White Crane, Alexei Calvert-Ansari at 1, Lucas Criado at 2, Tommy Pinello at 3, and James Harper, the England international, of 7 goals at the back. So here we are then, and it is White Crane with the early possession. Tommy Pinello picking it up at the back. Long drive down the ground, looking to see if he can find Criado on the run. Criado just gets ridden out the play well by Asno, and it's going to be a chance now for Sonadas to bring it away here for Marques de Riscal. Marques de Riscal looking to bring it away now with Sonadas. He just waits closely, looking to see where Sapper Cassette goes. Sapper Cassette goes out left, looking now to take on Pinello, who closes him down quickly. Still here now with Cassette. Cassette using Chris McKenzie as a blocker. Good play by the 9-goal Argentine player. And look at the length that goes on the ball up there, seeing if he can find Santi Sonadas to get there in front of Harper. Coming on to the play then now is Sonadas. Sonadas just bringing it out here towards the boards. Harper watching him closely. England international player, multiple winner of course in this high goal circuit in the UK. Concedes the play now to Cassette. Cassette just leaves it behind. There is Sonadas giving it back, and it comes back now to Sapper Cassette. Cassette has the big neck shot towards the goal. Has he got the angle? Just goes wide to the right hand side. And it will be White Crane ball off the back line. No ve nada, en la televisión.
No, acá no aparece, solo la repe aparece, solo la repe, Johnny.
So White Crane brings the ball back into play, looking to get a bit of a run going here. It's left to Tommy Pinello. Tommy Pinello, one of the superstars of the game coming up. We saw he had an amazing season in the US, over playing alongside Perotto Cambiasso as they come across now and pick up the line. It's Chris McKenzie, who has been blown. Is it not? I got told it was.
Sí, ahora sí lo veo.
Yeah, five cup finals. The last league stage.
¿Qué pasó?
So hang on, later's the final.
Ahí volvió.
No, later's, they're both for you guys.
¿Él?
Finals on Monday. So apologies, just as we come to the penalty shot, just because of rain, there has been some disruption to the schedule. The final actually taking place of this tournament on Monday. So this and the 3 o'clock game both still part of the league stage. That is due to rain impacted delay over the last few days here at Cowdray. So warm welcome to all of those watching here on Polo Line TV. Thank you for joining us. Do let us know all across our social media channels, Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, as we are all on, where you're watching from, what you think. Warm welcome, of course. I'd imagine waking up over on the east coast of the US. And here it is, Tommy Pinello. So Pinello it is with the 40, didn't get the cleanest of strikes, it wasn't the prettiest, but it just ran under the stick of Chris McKenzie. We have the opening score of this Trippetts Challenge game.
and it goes in favour of White Crane. So Tommy Pinello coming back, his first score of the game. Really excited to see Tommy here in the UK season this year, playing alongside such experience in James Harper. So as players come back in the middle, of course, ends change after every single goal is scored. Sapper Cassette comes on for play now for Marques de Riscal. Cassette with the near side back, and as I mentioned, both these sides looking for their first victory in this Trippetts Challenge tournament, as it's here again with Pinello. Pinello behind him sits James Harper. Harper picks it up, so I know it's Criado who will come on for play now for White Crane. On the near side, has a look up, sees if he's got any players making run. Pinello calls for a pass. Criado goes for it long. Lucas Criado just wide of the left-hand side of the goalpost. Good effort there by the young player from Argentina. Made his debut here in the UK last year, playing for Monterosso. This year part of the White Crane stable. His father, of course, a name familiar around the Polo circuits. Former 9-goal player Lucas Criado as the umpires blow the whistle here. We will see changes halfway through each chukker, so you will hear the whistle go, players going off and taking the opportunity to change. Of course, the Queen's Cup getting underway, the first of the high goal majors here in the UK, with Marques de Riscal due to start on the Tuesday.
Evento de Blackham ahora, van a pasar.
As we here, as they do take a break, we're just going to have a little look at one of our sponsors from the evening at Blackhound in the Argentine Embassy on Thursday night. The players make their way back onto the middle plate. As mentioned, you will see those mid-shutter breaks throughout both of the games here this afternoon. And it is going to be Marques de Riscal with the ball on the back line. So Marques de Riscal, as mentioned, same lineup as last year. There was a big switch in play as the season progressed, and it was this what you're seeing now. Chris McKenzie began to be the player taking possession from the back line, allowing Sapper Cassette to pick the ball up, and that's exactly what you've seen here now. Watch for Santi Sonatas down the centre of the ground. Cassette using McKenzie as a blocker. Good combination play, but Tommy Pinello just got round McKenzie by a second, but couldn't catch Cassette, and now Sapper Cassette looks to go. Umpire Fisher just moves out of the way, allowing Sapper Cassette to make his way up over the halfway line, as it's still here now with Cassette. Closing him down quickly there is Criado. Watch for Chris McKenzie down the centre of the ground. Sonatas makes a run to the left-hand side. Santi Sonatas goes for a big cut shot. Chris McKenzie's going to have to finish it off. Good defensive play by Harper as it falls again here for Sonatas. Santi Sonatas takes it up onto the inside there of Harper. Sonatas with the shot into the pony. The umpire's happy. There was enough distance, and there's going to be a counter-attack now for White Crane and Pinello to go. It's White Crane now with Alexei Cavadansari going down the ground. Pinello passes to himself, looking now to take on Santi Sonatas, but Sonatas has the line of the ball and picks it up now in defence as we go into the final 2 minutes of this opening of 6 chukkers. Sonatas leaves the ball in turn for Chris McKenzie. Good combination play there by the South African and the Argentine, but it's stolen off them both again by Tommy Pinello. And Pinello, the 2 9-goalers come together. Tommy Pinello on the near side with the shot, deflects off the pony of Sapper Cassette, and it stays in play, and now they look to counter down the other end. Both sides really getting running now. Asnar waits down the centre of the ground. The shot delivered by Chris McKenzie, looking for Alejandro Asnar. Coming back with him is Criado. Is Criado taking away the man, but it's still there with Asnar. The umpires blowing a whistle, so that was Cowdray going back. We'll see what the umpires spotted. So we have a look here on the instant replay. It was Cowdray coming back there with Asnar. Loud whistle on the play. I'm not sure they didn't say there that Cowdray just came across in front of Alejandro Asnar. And it does indeed look like it's going to be a penalty to 30-yard penalty shot in favour
of the burgundy shirt to Marques de Riscal. Alexei Cowdray just came across in front of Alejandro Asnar, conceding the foul, and a chance here for the burgundy shirts to tie it up. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the opening chukker.
No va a tirar. No, pareció de sapo, ¿eh?
So it is Sapa Gasset with the 30, no mistake at all, and Marques de Riscal, they tie us up here. A couple of penalties for each side. Sapa Gasset comes back year after year, always so well mounted. That type of pony that he loves, but just flattens out and runs. Also so easy to hit a penalty shot off, as we saw there. So players back in the centre of the ground, ends change. 1 goal apiece here in this Trippetts Challenge game. Picked up again by Polo. Polo has James Harper behind him. Harper just looking to give it back to Polo, but the umpire's trying to play the advantage. No advantage was coming. So as we have a look here on the instant replay, you see that it was Polo and Alejandro Asnar just got underneath the swing there. The umpire's trying to play the advantage, but it is going to be a penalty for 60-yard shot in favour of White Crane.
Yo, dame un segundo que no me dan las manos.
Looks like it's going to be Tommy Polo is going to be the player with the penalty duties for this White Crane side.
En alguna repetición va a tener una réplica.
Round to take this 60. Polo it is, and what a beautiful strike that is by the 9-goal player. Tommy Polo, he's been making waves around the world of polo over the last 12 months. And that is as good a penalty shot as you are going to see. And White Crane get themselves back in the lead. Close fought encounter that White Crane had in their opening game against Fern Park. Fellow debutants in the British High Goal circuit this year. Just losing out by the odd goal. So looking to come back now, but it's there with Chris Mackenzie in the lineup. Mackenzie just fighting hard there with Calvert and Sari, putting force into the long shot down the ground, and now Sapa Gasset is gone. Sapa Gasset, he just needs an inch as he gets away from Tommy Polo. Look at Polo reaching out, getting the hook. Sonatas with the backup, can they clear it? That was amazing riding by Polo, but it wasn't quite enough in the end. Sonatas backing up Sapa Gasset on the run to goal, and we're all tied up. But have a look there, that hook by Tommy Polo, quite something to see. Sonatas just got the slightest of touches. The goal is scored, and the players make their way back to the centre of the ground. We'll see if there's time for one more play here in this opening chukker. So ball goes back into play. It's at the front of the line up there, but the umpires straight away blowing the whistle amidst the huddle. So we have a look here. So the players came back. All went in, and it looks like they've given that one in favour of White Crane. Couldn't quite see clearly, but I think there was Asnar at the front just coming across. White Crane then with the penalty. Tap to the left-hand side by James Harper. To his left, then his right goes Polo. Eventually Polo steps on the left. They're going to have to be careful. Oh, Sapa Gasset, he saw it perfectly, and he intercepts. There goes the first buzzer. Watch for Santi Sonatas down the centre of the ground, and that's where Cassette he goes. I'm not quite sure as he got the distance. Look at Sonatas. The next shot towards the goal. It's just going to roll wide to the right-hand side. Let's hear it, though, ladies and gentlemen, for both sides. The end of the first chukker, and we're all tied up here. 2 goals apiece. What an effort that was there by Sapa Gasset, sending it long, looking for Sonatas. But as we've said on the live ground here, end of first chukker, 2 goals to White Crane, Marques de Riscal.
Cha-da-doo.
our way back onto the field for this second chukker.
Última jugada esa.
What an effort that was by Santi Sonadas to bring that second chukker to an end, picking up that next shot pass by Cassette, really urging the horses on. You're going to see a lot of that today. The players, as mentioned, getting ready for the start of the Queen's Cup up in Guards. Marques to Riscal, they get underway there on Tuesday, so this really is a big run for their ponies. But here, back of play here on Lawns ground at number 1. Sent out to the right-hand side by James Harper, again looking to combine here with Polo. Polo, a cute little backhand there, looking to put Criado back into action. Criado picks it up now in front of Cassette, just goes to the left-hand side. Behind him now is Polo. It's here with Harper. Harper tapping it down the board, hooked up the play. Good pressure by Mackenzie, giving it now to Sapper Cassette. Cassette goes left, looking for Sonadas. Down the ground, stretching the play is Chris Mackenzie. So Sonadas here, keep it close and have a look to give it back now to Cassette. Cassette just taps the ball up just over the US Polo ASASN sign on the far side, sends it up towards the goal, and look at that by Sapper Cassette, about 100 yards out from goal, just opened up his shoulders, no mistake, the goal is scored. Sapper Cassette here, they were waiting for the pass, he had other ideas, he went straight for the goal shot. 3 goals to 2, Marques to Riscal lead for the first time. Players back in the centre of the field. Umpires, second time we've seen this, quick to blow the whistle there in the lineup. They're going to want to be sure here there is a gap. This time no foul play, perhaps a last warning for either sets of players as it goes in now. Who's going to pick it up? It's there again with Polo, but he's squeezed out the play well by Cassette, but comes straight back onto the play now. Polo has a look behind him. He's got Harper and Calvert Nassari there. It's going to fall here for James Harper. Has a look to his right-hand side. He's got Criado calling for the pass right. He's got Polo calling for it left, and it's stopped from getting to either of them by Sapper Cassette, who turns on an absolute sixpence, gives himself a bit of space, uses Chris Mackenzie as a blocker, and now takes it out to the left-hand side. Still here with Cassette. Sonadas has gone way down the ground, calling for the pass. Alejandro Aznar sits between them. Cassette went for it all, and it's going to drop down now on the turf for Alexi Calvert-Ansari. Good open backhand, not enough distance. Here now with Alejandro Aznar. Aznar reaching up for the hook is Criado, picked up again by Santi Sonadas. He gets another score, showing the value of the backup and some daylight now between the two sides. So Santi Sonadas, we've seen it already once, just picking up as the ball gets left right in front of the goal map. It was good play by Alejandro Aznar, and Santi Sonadas just finishes it off. Just over 2.5 minutes played here in this second chukker. We'd expect another minute or so before the players will get another chance to go off and change. There with Sonadas. Umpires saw the line. Criado claiming that it's changed. So here on the instant replay, we'll see quite clearly there. You see Sonadas comes around in popped Criado, but you're not going to get away with that one. And it is going to go up to a penalty 4. We saw Polo hit an absolute textbook penalty from the last one. What can the burgundy shirts do to match? Just saw Sapper Cassette's horse didn't go away looking too easy. He pointed straight towards Chris Mackenzie, so I wonder whether Chris Mackenzie might be the player to step up. No, but it's going to be Sapper Cassette. He's just asking Chris Mackenzie to tee the ball up for him. Cassette, he's got the height, you heard the turf, and it's gone straight through the centre of the goal. Or has it? Has it? The goal judge is saying it has. The umpires are having a look. The Sapper Cassette, he's claiming it went through, and who will get the benefit of the doubt? Certainly had the height on it. It's just got to go on the inside of the goalpost. Not easy to see, of course, with that ball going upwards of over 150 yards in the air. And the goal judge, in the end, said wide.
So it will be White Crane with the ball on the back line. Here now with James Harper, England international. Seen his competition this year will be against Argentina in the Coronation Cup later on in the summer. As this one will go in favour of White Crane. Let's have a look here on the instant replay. The ball got sent out right. The line quite clearly there with the white shirts of White Crane, of course, against Sonadas. So Sonadas, I think, thought he had a little bit more space than he did. The line, quite clearly, as we saw on the instant replay, was with White Crane. And players, they will take the opportunity here to go off and change on to some fresh ponies halfway through this second shuckle. We'll be back in a couple of minutes or so. Yeah. ¿Algo en la televisión o?
¿De qué partido?
Here for a goal for the UAE first year player, Teo Lacao.
No sé si lo sabes, pero mami a veces te extraño. Que no estés conmigo me hace daño. No quería hacer esto, pero solamente te pido un besito más. Mami, tú me subes los síntomas. Lo nuestro no era chingar nomás. Antes que te vayas, por lo menos, mami, solo dame un besito más. Es que tú me subes los síntomas. Lo nuestro no era chingar nomás. Yo soy tu loquito más.
Taylor Cowdray, you saw scoring that goal there, his UAE side. They will be in action at 3 p.m. this afternoon against La Magdeleine. Really excited to watch that game. That one, like all the high goal games at Cowdray, exclusively live for you here on Polo Line TV. Also, make sure you have downloaded our app. Keep up to date with all the latest news, coverage and highlights from not only here at Cowdray, but from around the European season and worldwide. Do let us know where you're tuning in from as well. Send us your messages through social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube. Let us know what you think of the game so far. Out here on the ground, the umpire's moving this one all the way up after that foul by Sonadas, and it's going to be Pinello. Tommy Pinello, the power has gone left this time. He knew straight away, the umpires you saw signalling, no doubts from the adjudicators behind the goal, so it's going to be Marques to Riscal with the ball on the back line. Chris McKenzie, watch for Sonadas, stretching the play, and Sapper Cassette staying close. It goes to Cassette on the left-hand side. Now Sonadas has some space at the front if Cassette chooses to send it down there. McKenzie, he goes down the middle as well. You see this formation of Marques de Riscal, so effective in giving space as Sonadas now. He's got to be quick to get back there, and he is in space in front of the White Crane captain, James Harper. Harper, though, not a clean contact by Sonadas. So Harper, there's about one bounce you'll see all game, and that was it. It just beat the stick of James Harper. That's here now with Alejandro Aznar. Aznar ridden out of it well there by Pinello. Pinello, look at the spin by Tommy Pinello, and that is why the world is watching this player at the moment. Just sticks it under the horse of Santi Sonadas. Chris McKenzie comes back at him, and it's Alejandro Aznar who's gone. It's Aznar for Marques de Riscal. Sapper Cassette takes away the player behind. It's Alejandro Aznar. Marques de Riscal. Aznar scores the goal, and Marques de Riscal 5 goals to 2. Alejandro Aznar, fresh off winning the US Open, just spun away from everyone, and what a score that is by the number one for his Marques de Riscal side. And give credit to Sapper Cassette as well. He came straight in behind after some great work by Chris McKenzie, and that is where Marques de Riscal are so effective. 5-2, they now lead. Players come back to the centre of the ground. Ball goes in play. Who's going to pick it up? It is here now with Pinello again, Tommy Pinello. We've seen so much form, but they need to get a goal soon, as a shot by Tommy Pinello gets hit into the crowd. So we have a look here. Tommy Pinello picks it up. We'll see whether the umpire's not happy with the distance between him and the players in front. Just hit it into the pony. So we've seen over the last couple of years umpires
strict on the amount of space needed before those pole drivers get sent down the ground. They felt there was not enough space between horse player and bull. Polo hitting it into the crowd, so getting penalised. It's just going to be a spot hit. And Marques to Riscal, they've got momentum, they've got the ball. What a moment that was for Alejandro Aznar as well. Went off to the US, played as part of the La Dolfina stable out there, winning that US Open title. It's here now with Mackenzie. Mackenzie picked up now by Sonadas. Sonadas takes that right. Verbo is again for Polo. Polo hooks up the play well by Cassette as it falls now for Harper. The truck and trailer in motion, and now Harper gets a little bit of space. James Harper takes it up over the halfway line. Reaching out for the hook there is Sapper Cassette. Strong play though by James Harper. Looking to run around Chris Mackenzie. Mackenzie was strong, but amazing here how Polo again is able to pick the ball up in space. Using again there the blocker in Criado. Polo with the shot towards the goal. And look at that by Tommy Polo. It's another one by the 9-goal boy wonder, Tommy Polo. 2 goals separate the sides. Tommy Polo here, just using James Harper and Criado as the blockers in front. Hits the next shot from about 80 yards from goal. Players come back to middle, 5 goals to 3. Just under a minute then to go in the second of our 6 chukkers, the opening Trippetts Challenge game of the day here at Lawns. The ball goes back into play. Near side there by Santi Sonadas, sends the ball down the boards. It's going to be picked up here by Polo, spinning it round now for White Crane. Just able to use there again the support by Criado, blocking away Cassette just for long enough to give him the space. Now looks for Criado down the centre of ground. He'll pick it up. Behind him is Harper, but he doesn't need him as Criado just didn't quite get the connection he was looking for. So Sonadas will pick it up with the big open backhand, looking for Cassette on the turn. Have they got time for one more attack in this second chukkers? Cassette has a look down the centre of the ground. There goes the first buzzer. 30 seconds to go here for either side to do some damage. Great defensive play here by Calvin Ansari, taking it across in front of Aznar, but just ran out of room. That is the end of the second chukker. Let's hear it again for both sets of players as they go off in change. Once more, it's Marques to Riscal out in front, 5 goals to 3.
I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? Bitch, I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula, I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving niggas wrong, I do what they say I can't. They call me Cardi, Brody, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than a Somali. Bird, go, Ferrari.
Out.
So players back on the field of play for the third chukker. You saw that penalty given against Alexi Calvin Ansari. He nearly did it, but he just came across in front of Alejandro Aznar, and it's going to be a penalty for 60-yard shot. Sapper Cassette, we saw his last one of these, just went wide after goal judge initially said goal, so we'll see where this goes. Let's have a look on the instant replay here. So unlucky. It was a great near side pickup initially by Calvin Ansari, but came across the line. It's going to be a penalty for.
¿Quién habla? Sapo, no sé quién habla. Creo que va a hacer nada. su madre, ¿qué habrá hecho? Creo que debería hacer más, ¿no? 60, sí.
So it looks like it's going to be Santi Sonaris coming up to take this penalty.
Sonaris, it's not the cleanest of strikes, but this one goes through the centre of the goal. They all count 6 goals to 3. Santi Sonaris taking over penalty duties. You just see him check his stick after he hit that. It didn't sound the purest. But Santi Sonaris having a great game in front of goal to go with his 2 field goals already scored. So 6 goals to 3. Marques to Riscal. They were defeated by La Magdeleine, who we're going to see in the big game at 3 o'clock here this afternoon. Coming up against, of course, the British Open champions, UAE. Here now is Sapagaset sending the ball down the ground. He's looking again for Asnar. They're really looking to use the number 1 in attack. The tail backhand hit though by Criado, but not quite enough angle for Polo to be able to pick up the ball in front of Sonaris, but eventually he does manage to get his way around. As it's here now with Polo, has a look to the left where Criado was calling for a pass. In defence though is Asnar here for Marques Riscal, called for the open backhand, just over the top of the play, beaten by the bouncers. It's now there with James Harper. Harper, long drive down the ground, just putting it there on the doorstep. Criado coming through at speed. It's Criado in front of Chris McKenzie. Lucas Criado with the score. 4 goals to 6 now. Criado just sneaking in front there of Chris McKenzie.
The pass was hit by James Harper and Criado coming across. McKenzie gave up the chase for 2 6-goalers together.
So players returning again to the centre of the ground. Ball in play. It's in the middle of the lineup. They're all fighting over it, and it's going to be James Harper bringing it away now. Sorry, no, Polo for White Crane. Behind him is James Harper. Polo takes it out to the right-hand side. Again, watch for the 2 9-goalers. Sapagaset was eyeing him up, so Polo spins it back round, takes it by himself. Now looks to go to the right of Asnar and Sonaris, just toying with a couple of players there from Marques to Riscal. Now sends a pass down the ground. He was looking for Criado, but this time Chris McKenzie, and a lovely neck shot by Chris McKenzie, sending it down the ground, looking for Sonaris. Sonaris has a quick look up, but no one's making any runs, so he chooses to keep it close. Both Cassette and McKenzie behind him. Still here with Sonaris, in between both Criado and James Harper, and it's Harper in front. Tommy Polo not far away either. Sonaris continues just to dribble the ball up towards the 60. Now he leaves it for Cassette. Cassette now. Here's a whistle. I'm not sure the umpires didn't say 1 tap too many as they were making their way down the ground. Sapagaset looks a little bit bemused.
So as we have a look on the instant replay, I think the umpires said use it there, and
Bajo
Cassette
malamente.
took 1 more tap.
Eso no me da hora.
It's going to be in favour of...
Porque el canal 2 del micrófono lo tengo
Wait
en
and
2,
see.
creo. Está prácticamente
Either way,
apagado.
both sets of players are going to go off and change. I think it's going to be in favour of White Crane when we come back. 1 too many taps from the Marques to Riscal side. The players going off and changing then halfway through the third of our 6 chuckers.
Cierro.
So as we thought, it is going to be a penalty for White Crane. So just to remind you of that rule, the umpires will allow a player tap it once and then they will cool use it and the player has to show the forward motion, which Sapper Cassette was adjudged not to have done, so a penalty just from the spot, and it's going to be James Harper to bring the ball round and play. Harper with the tap, he just had to scoop a second beneath him there as Chris McKenzie closed him down again. Harper's looking for Pinello. Pinello's got the space there on the near side. The ball not doing him any favours for it. It comes now for James Harper, and James Harper has Calvert and Sari out in front of him. James Harper looking for his number one. He didn't get the cleanest pass though, and it's going to be Cassette here in defence now for Marques to Riscal. Cassette looks out left, looking to see if he can find Sonadas. Sonadas though beaten to it by Criado, and it's going to be picked up here by Pinello. Pinello using Criado as the blocker. This time James Harper, the most forward player for White Crane. Pinello will look to take on McKenzie. Good defensive play by South African international player Chris McKenzie. Looked for Cassette, but strong to it first was Harper, and he sells Cassette with the dummy. Bringing it back round now is James Harper, going in between Sonadas and Cassette. James Harper, big neck shot towards the goal, and what a score that is by James Harper, and just like that we've got a one-goal game. James Harper, absolutely superb control in between Cassette and Sonadas. Went for a neck shot 70 yards out from goal. Straight through the centre, no mistake still there from England player James Harper. Players back in the centre of the ground. About 3 minutes remaining in this first half. The ball goes in play. Picked up here by Pinello. Pinello to the left-hand side now of Asnar. Just gives himself some space. Sapper Cassette and Sonadas. They're closing down quickly. Good work it is by Criado. Taking away first one, then a second. Now picked up here by Criado. Gives it straight back to Tommy Pinello. Pinello now looking to open up. Pinello, his players did the work for him, and he looks now to finish it off. Tommy Pinello. It's another score by the 9-goal player for White Crane. He just slipped through that defence of Marques to Riscal. Had a look after space that opened up, and Pinello gets another one, and we're all tied up. Really is fantastic to watch Tommy Pinello. Players watch the ball go back in. Picked up there. Ooh, Harper, a rare mistake on the backhand, or it might have been Criado actually, but coming back and picking up the line was James Harper. Coming across it, Sapper Cassette. So you have a look here, out the lineup. Just that bounce of the ball. Beat Criado. Behind him there was James Harper. And it's going to be spot hit penalty. Suddenly all the momentum seems to be with the white shirts. Umpire's cool play. To the left-hand side, all on his own is Tommy Pinello, calling for a pass. Harper, though, didn't quite get the clean touch on it, so it's there with McKenzie. The open backhand, looking for Cassette. Cassette going in between there. Oh, and he's come away from it in front of both Pinello and James Harper, and it's a horse race. And watch for Sapper Cassette on the near side, looking for Santi Sonadas. Sonadas coming through at speed, but quicker to it in defence is James Harper, but Sonadas, he's going to get another bite of it here as we go to the final minute of this opening half as Sonadas takes it to the left-hand side. James Harper, Tommy Pinello in close attendance. Away from the play for the time being sits Criado, but it's Santi Sonadas. Looks to have beaten them both first time. Coming back at it though is Tommy Pinello. Still supporting him is Harper, and Pinello will bring it away. Calling for a pass to the left was Criado. Pinello went a little bit far down the ground, and it's there with Asnar. Tail backhand looking for McKenzie. The line is there with Chris McKenzie. Criado just watching as Sapper Cassette now comes into play. It's burgundy ball as Cassette has a look to see where McKenzie goes. Goes out left. Lovely play between Sapper Cassette and Santi Sonadas. Sonadas called for the long shot down the ground, looking to see if he can find Alejandro Asnar. Asnar's coming through at speed here for Marques de Riscal. Alejandro Asnar with the shot, picking up the line, can't quite get the finishing touch, and it goes wide to the right-hand side. Big chance there for Marques de Riscal. Let's see if we have time for one more play now. in this third chucker? It looks like we will. It's going to be James Harper to bring the ball back into play. Harper to his right-hand side, and then to his left go both Pinello and Criado. All three White Crane players calling for the pass out to the left, and it comes to Pinello. Look at Lucas Criado taking away Sapagaset, giving Tommy Pinello the space here as we hear the first buzzer goes. 30 seconds now for White Crane to try and get themselves out in front at the halfway point. Chris McKenzie and Tommy Pinello playing cat and mouse with the ball. Pinello sends the ball down the ground. Oh, it's picked up though by Cassette, and they're going to go down the other end. They've got about 10 seconds to go. It's Sapa Cassette against the clock. Cassette just keeps it close. First time he's got to go from here. It's Sapa Cassette. I don't think he's got the accuracy as the ball just goes there. Settles the play. There goes the buzzer. End of the third chucker. If I could please ask you all to show your appreciation to both sets of players. Make your way out onto the ground. Tread in any divots. 3 chuckers remain in the opening game of the Trippetts Challenge here at Cowdray Park. As here on Polo Line TV, we're going to go to an interview with Fern Park longtime captain Joaquin Pitaluga to hear how the season is going for the high goal debutants.
This year seems to be the pinnacle of every year with the thing what we've been aiming for long. So for me, it's a privilege to finally get to play high goal. I've been playing high goal for many years now, but to finally do it with the Rodermers and Jonathan and Villa is very special. So I want to enjoy every second of it, and that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I think we started the other day we were talking about it 15 years ago, our first tournament together, and then 15 years ago. See, he was new, but he was always very enthusiastic. It was good fun to play with him, and Villa I think was into Polo before he was. But he was always very easygoing. The first couple of years it was everything new, so I already have been playing high goal in a big organization, so he trusted me with all the methods I learned from those organizations, but it's been a long way, but it's been good fun, so I enjoyed it. Yeah, I didn't wear his. I thought wearing his family logo was a bit too much, so I only used the company logo. No, yeah, he I think it works for him, so he asked me if I could do it, and I said, of course. I to be honest, I use his company a lot to get myself informed in my iPad, so it actually makes sense. We've been playing with Mau for a couple of years. I mean, in the world with Mau, I think we've been playing for the last more or less 9-10 years together, either here or Argentina somewhere. So it's like the closest to a brother I have. And last year when this opportunity showed up, I said, if I'm going to do it with a special guy like Jonathan, I want to do it with a special guy like Mau, to me. And then I said, together we decided who's the handicap that fit us and who was the options. And then very quickly we called Pelon and we decided to play with him, and thank God we could sign him, and it's a privilege for us to have him in our organization.
Johnny Stockman and one for Fendo Perez.
So welcome back to all of those watching live on Polo Line TV. See there, some of the stats, very even in terms of field goals, throw-ins, 4 field goals apiece, a couple of penalties each, 1 penalty missed each as well. not too many fouls. It's been a pretty clean, open first half of this game. Just been saying live at the ground here at Cowdray. You see there actually that it says 6-all. The score is now going to be 7-6 in favour of White Crane. That is because Luis Asnar, the son of Alejandro Asnar, he has come on to take his place. And that makes Marques de Riscal a 23-goal side as we have a look at the Chucker score progression as well. 2-2, 3-5, 6-all. And it is now 7-6 in favour of White Crane. So both sets of players back on the field of play. Just ran out of time there for Sapper-Gosset in the first half. So it's going to be a roll in right in front of the goals, being attacked by Marques de Riscal. So just a reminder again, for those late to their seats here for the second half, we have Luis Asnar playing instead of his father, Alejandro, now in the second half. That makes them a 23-goal side, which is why it is now 7-6 in favour of White Crane. But back on the field, an early whistle is blown. This one's going to be in favour of Marques de Riscal. Sapper-Gosset, it was just spinning around on the line as the player just got a little bit stuck coming out the line out. So they are going to have a chance here from the penalty to straight away level us back up. So Gosset it is with the 30-yarder, no mistake at all. As Sapper-Gosset, he does level the scores once again, 7-all as players make their way back to the centre of the ground. Sapper-Gosset, he gave the last penalty to Santi Sonadas, but he steps up from a closer distance, no mistake. And we are once again tied. So ball goes back in play. It's going to be picked up here out the back of the lineup by Criado. Criado now, now it's Polo. Polo being pushed hard there by Gosset. Again, the two 9-goal players coming together as Polo called for the open backhand. Lovely play as he looks to open it up, but Mackenzie takes away Criado, giving Sonadas the time there on the near side against the pony of James Harper. That one bounces over the boards. A memento for the visitors on the far side to pick up the ball. As the ball gets dropped in, it's going to be Chris Mackenzie. Mackenzie just staying close to him initially is Sapper-Gosset. Now Sapper-Gosset goes right, picking the ball up in an acre of space there as he's now closed down by Polo again. Still here with Sapper-Gosset. Behind him this time is Sonadas. Looks to get to Tommy Polo, but Gosset just left it behind. But he reaches back on for play. Gets round Polo. Now he's got to take on James Harper. Sends the ball long down the ground. Harper taking on Asnar at the front. Chris Mackenzie coming in for play as well. The little backhand played by Mackenzie. Picked up there by Asnar. Spinning round in front of the on-coming Lucas Criado. So the whistle blows. This one here will be in favour of White Crane. Luis Asnar just getting themselves up to speed. And that one will be from the spot. James Harper. Oh, he looks to get going quickly here. He saw a gap just on that right-hand side. Chris Mackenzie, though, was quick to it as the ball now gets left to Thomas Polo. Polo takes it out to the left-hand side. Waiting with there is Chris Mackenzie. Sonadas gets a flick off the backhand. He's hit it to himself. Look at that by Santi. Sonadas picks it up on the near side. White Crane, they're coming back in defence, but they're not going to get there. What a play by Santi Sonadas. Hit a backhand to himself. Opened up the ground, and they make it 8-7. What a shot that was before by Sonadas. We see here on the instant replay, the near side in front of James Harper. James Harper had looked to get going quickly from the knock-in. He was closed down quickly. Great play by Santi Sonadas. All of these games and highlights will be available on Polo Line TV and on the app as well. One to watch there by Santi Sonadas. How he's able to bring that pony back around on the backhand to himself, and here he comes again. This time ridden out the play well by James Harper. Criado came in. Sonatas was strong, and they've gone. Chris McKenzie will take away Piniello as Sapagasset comes through. Has he put too much on it? It's a race to get there. It may go through anyway. And Sapagasset, the ball just curled round through the centre of the goal. 3 goals in quick succession in this fourth chukker, This time it's Sapagasset. You just wondered there, was the ball going to go left? It just curled through the centre of the goal. Players come back to the centre. They're asking the umpires if this is the chance for them to change onto fresh ponies. 2 umpires, 2 local umpires, Ben Turner, Henry Fisher, do blow the whistle, so we will see the players go off and change again. But what an opening half of that chukker it's been by Marques de Riscal and Santi Sonatas in particular. Sonatas, long-time stable member of this Marques de Riscal side. There's a big thank you just to our sponsors, Clenovo, as well, here on the live stream. But great to see Santi Sonatas coming back. He'll be playing again the high goal in Spain as well. Finalists in the Gold Cup over in Sotogrande, alongside Asnar and Sapagasset in that lineup last year with them. So players back in the centre, ball goes play. It's Luis Asnar here at front for Marques de Riscal. Looking to get up to speed quickly here in this contest is Luis Asnar. Ridden out the play by Piniello, left behind. Who's going to turn onto it? It's Criado, picking it up in front of Sonatas and Cassette. Sonatas, so making life so difficult for the white shirts, and he's able to come away with it again. Great play there by Santi Sonatas for little shake and go there by Sonatas. Now goes to the right-hand side there of Piniello. There's Harper in defence. Big play by Sapagasset, taking it away from Harper, but Harper was strong coming back here for White Crane. James Harper takes that right. Behind him is Criado. Good play by Sonatas again, but Piniello had read it perfectly. Takes it to the left-hand side there of Luis Asnar. Waiting there still is Asnar. Piniello comes to a right-hand side. The umpire's happy there as, they were happy, but just coming back on. So I wait and see what the umpires are going to say. But when they say use it, you got to take it forward. Forward motion is the key. And Piniello went back. He's not happy, but that is how the rule works. You got to go forward. He took it back, so it's going to be a spot hit in favour of Marques de Riscal. So the 2 umpires, Ben Turner, Henry Fisher, running pretty strict ship out there. Peter Wright here in the stands. That's one of those rules that we've seen come in. It doesn't always please the players, but when they say go forward, even if it goes backwards at speeds, they will blow you up for it. Sapagasset looks like he might fancy this one. Sapagasset drives it long down the ground towards the goal. Asnar looking to get the deflection into the goal, but it just ran wide to the right-hand side. So White Crane will have the chance to start this one again. Umpire's cool play. There with James Harper. Sends it right, looking for Piniello. Behind him is Criado. Piniello now takes it back behind Criado. Lovely play there by Criado to take away Cassette, giving the chance now for Piniello. Piniello now looking to take on Chris McKenzie. Just takes it out here towards the board. Sends a long drive down the ground, looking for Calvert Ansari. Back in offence is Asnar. Lovely open backhand by Asnar. Looking to give it back to Chris McKenzie, but it was read quickly there by Piniello again, just to spin it round in front of Chris McKenzie. James Harper close by as Piniello goes right, then goes left. Uses Harper as the blocker. Gets around Chris McKenzie. Now taking on Cassette. Lovely play. Look at the way in which Piniello controls it. Sonatas comes in, but the umpires may well say there that Sonatas just came across as he went for that hook. We'll get the benefit here of the instant replay. Piniello saying there that Sonatas was in front of him. It's a very close call what they've given there. But it is going to be a penalty to 30-yard shot. Sonatas just hanging around a little bit long on that line. So a big chance here for White Crane to bring it back to within 1 goal. So it looks like it's going to be Criado this time. Criado with the undefended shot at goal. No mistake whatsoever. All the White Crane players having a go from the penalty spot. Criado makes it 8 goals to 9. And once again, just for 1 goal separating those two sides. So as we dive deeper into the morning over in the US, a warm welcome to our viewers over breakfast. Do let us know on social media what you're thinking of this game as we go. And it's Sappergaset who's gone. Sappergaset now for Marques de Riscal. This is a sight we've seen so many times over the years. Sappergaset with a shot towards the goal. Just flattened that pony out. Through he went. The goal is scored. And Marques de Riscal make it 10 goals to 8. And that is one of the finest sights you will see in World Polo. Sappergaset getting away out the line at the goal is scored 10-8. Players come back to the centre of the ground. Players back in the centre. Ball goes to player Sonatas. He's gone. The complete miscommunication at the back there by White Crane allowed Sonatas. Picks up the bounce. Not quite far enough out in front of him. Chris McKenzie, though, continues the attack here for the Burgundy. It's Chris McKenzie under the neck through the goal. And this time it's Chris McKenzie with the score. 11 goals to 8. Backing up his teammates superbly there. Chris McKenzie left himself with a lot of work to do there, but finished it off superbly. Marques de Riscal beginning to really take control as we hear the buzzer go to end the 4th chukker. Let's hear for both these players again. And what a chukker that was by Marques de Riscal. They came into it 7 goals to 6 down and they lead 11-8. now, but it is White Crane with the ball. White Crane send the ball on down the ground by James Harper, looking to see if he can get Polo going, but going back quickly, using Sonatas as the blocker is Sapper Cassette. Cassette spins it back round. Lewis Asnar stretching the play at the front. That's where the ball is going. Asnar calling for it. Asnar getting it as he now looks to get round James Harper. Harper coming back quickly. Sonatas going down the ground, calling for the pass, showing the confidence in Lewis Asnar. Asnar, beautiful shot down the ground, looking to give it to Santi Sonatas. He's got the angle to work with here, is Sonatas. He will just slow it down. Watch him closely there is Criado. Sonatas. Asnar comes in to help his player out. The umpires blowing the whistle once again. I imagine that will once again could be the tapping rule in effect. And if that is indeed the case, which it is, it's going to be in favour of White Crane. So the umpires call play. And it's going to be here now with James Harper. Harper, watch for Tommy Polo. Polo calls for it, and he's going to get it as well. Polo, quick to it, though, was Sonatas. Sonatas with the near side. They just seem to be a spot quicker. Ooh, across came Asnar. Polo appealing for a foul, but look at the confidence of Louis Asnar, but it's stolen off him now by Criado. Criado now looking to go here, leaves the ball behind. Mackenzie, nothing on the play. Coming round on the near side now is Polo. Asnar coming through again. The umpires say play on as Chris Mackenzie comes in, as does Santi Sonatas. Where is Sapper Cassette? Cassette just floating to a left-hand side, calling for a pass. If Sonatas could see him, the space wasn't there, so it's going to go to Chris Mackenzie instead. Mackenzie, just an unlucky bounce on the play. He still gets there on the near side, fighting hard there with both Harper and Polo. Polo now coming in as Sonatas able to pick up the play now for Marques Riscal. Sonatas evades the hook of Polo, sends it down looking for Cassette. There is Harper, but the umpires not happy with the amount of space given there as Harper came across, desperately trying to save a goal at the end. So Sonatas just sent the pass down the ground. Harper came across in front of Sapper Cassette. He did eventually get across on the near side, but the foul was done earlier. And it's going to be a penalty too. 30-yard shot in favour of Marques de Riscal. Sapper Cassette once again through the centre of the goal. 12 goals to 8 then. Marques de Riscal continue their upward trajectory in this contest. First of our two Trippetts Challenge games here at Cowdray this afternoon, 3 o'clock. What a game that promises to be. UAE, the British Open champions, returning with Lucan Monteverde and Thomas Beresford again this year, and adding the very exciting Taylor Cow in that lineup. Really excited to see them in that game against La Magdeleine. But here now with James Harper. Harper looking to take on Cassette. This time the umpires calling play to a stop as Cassette was coming through. The line was with James Harper. Harper, you see here, just getting the ball out. Across came Sapper Cassette. Similar to the last foul we saw as well. Sapper Cassette did eventually get out of the way, but the damage was already done, so it's going to be a penalty. And it looks like a 40-yard penalty. Penalty free in favour of White Crane. La Magdeleine as well, just mentioning UAE coming back. La Magdeleine also had a great year last year, semi-finalists here in the British Open. One change to their side, the very impressive Herodel Carril, who we've seen here in the UK over the last few seasons, coming in place of Pablo McDonough. Looks like hasn't missed a beat, that side, as they beat this Marques de Riscal side in the opening game. As it's Tommy Polo with the penalty shot through the goal. It was a 40-yard penalty, wonderful strike by Polo, so they do pull one back. Still 4.5 minutes to go, just under in this fifth and penultimate chukker. Tommy Polo bringing his side back into the equation. Urging his side on as they go to the line out here. As I say, both of his sides make their Queen's Cup debuts in the coming day. Marques Riscal here with Sapper-Gosset. They're in action on Tuesday, up in guards as Sapper-Gosset now looks to run, and he's gone again. It's Sapper-Gosset, couldn't quite read the flight to the ball. Sonatas, so he does. Santi Sonatas, nothing that could be done there by Criado in defence. It's another goal for Santi Sonatas, backing up Sapper-Gosset. You thought he was going to score the goal, but Sonatas, under pressure, was able to finish it off. So the players veg off and change again here, halfway through the penultimate chukker, and the side in Burgundy lead, 13 goals to 9. It's a real style of their play that we're seeing out here. Santi Sonatas just on our screenshot here. Always making sure he's backing up the runners. Sapper-Gosset in particular, one of the best runners of the ball to goal. So good at stretching the play. Very often the ball will be there for a teammate to finish it off as the opposition defence rush back to try and stop him. And Sapper-Gosset, time and time again, you see Santi Sonatas doing just that for him. So all 8 players back in the centre of the field. Ball goes back in play. It's at the front of the lineup here for Polo. Polo just brings it back under his spell. Santi Sonatas and Chris Mackenzie. Mackenzie takes over defensive duties, allowing Sonatas to go back. Look at that by Criado. Knew exactly where Polo was going to be. Polo sends it back. It's for 1-2. If this works, it's going to be superb. Sapper-Gosset comes back. Strong play there by Criado, and what a score. That is by White Crane. You saw the backhand pass, the flick backhand by Criado, giving it to Polo. Polo, he gave Criado plenty of work to do still to finish it off, but great play there. 10 goals to 13, double digits on the board then for the white shirts of White Crane. Still plenty of time, only 3 goals separating them. A chucker and just under a half to go. Ball goes back in play, and again it's going to be here with James Harper. Harper avoids the hook first time round of Asnar. Still fighting hard is Asnar, but Harper shows all his strength to come through. James Harper, he's got Criado and Polo both behind him. Harper very needed one of them to go forward. Criado's doing it, but it's a little bit belatedly as Chris Mackenzie comes back in defence. The ball, the open backhand played, looking for Cassette, but reading it was Harper. Not a lot of distance on it. Able to pick it up now is Cassette. Criado appealing for a foul. The umpires say play on, and there's a chance of an overlap now if they can get it. Sapper-Gosset chooses to go right, looking for Asnar in front of Calvert Ansari. Asnar takes the ball up over the halfway line, and look at Louis Asnar go. Louis Asnar with the shot towards the goal, and what a score this will be for the number 1. He's just going to run out of space. Yes, he is, just wide to the right-hand side. What an attempt though by Asnar there for Marques Riscal. For those wondering, Luis Asnar coming in place of his father Alejandro at the halfway point. We saw Alejandro score a goal earlier on in the game, and Luis looked to match it there, but it just went wide right. So it's going to be here with White Crane. Just over a minute to go here in this 5th and penultimate chukkers. Both sets of players still giving it everything they've got out here in this Trippetts Challenge contest as James Harper brings it back into play. Behind him now is Polo. Polo takes it out left. Watching him closely there is Sapper-Gosset. Polo going in between Sonatas and Cassette, and now he looks to go, and he just urges his horse on to the left-hand side there of Santi Sonatas. It's Tommy Polo looking to give it a go here for 60 yards out for play, just over the bounce, and it's going to be here now with Sapper-Gosset. Cassette spins it back round. End-to-end Polo out here as Cassette has a look to see where Santi Sonatas goes. Sonatas calls some pass. Cassette keeps it again. The play is stretched as Cassette makes his way into the opposition half. He's using Sonatas there as the demo run, and it's there with Cassette. Oh, he just left it short. Big backhand play. White Crane looking to pick it up, but there again is Cassette. Great defensive play by Criado, and now they go down the other end again. It's going to be here with Polo. Polo will pick it up. It is breathless Polo out there as White Crane looks to go with Polo. Polo eventually does slow it down. Pinello steps it up to the halfway line. He goes in between Mackenzie and Cassette. The little flick backhand again, this time finding Harper. Watch the run of Criado to the left. Instead goes through the middle of both Sonatas and Cassette. Both sets of players beginning to look a little bit tired as we go towards the end of this fifth chucker. Big drive down the ground by James Harper, looking for Calvin Ansari. Calvin Ansari keeps it in play. And now Marques de Riscal. They will go down the other end with Asnar. Asnar looking to run away now for Marques de Riscal. Calvin Ansari comes back quickly. It's Asnar. Long drive down the ground. Look at that by Asnar in the number 1 shirt. Calvin Ansari comes back. Louis Asnar looks to go round him as he now slows it down again. Cool, composed play, but just leaves the ball behind. I'm not sure if the first buzzer is gone. The clock is certainly reading close to the full 7 minutes as it's sent out right there, as there does go the second buzzer. Let's hear it. What an end that was to the fifth chucker. Breathless Polo, but it is Marques de Riscal who leads. 7 minutes left to go. 13 goals to 10.
Welcome here to Chantilly in France for the long-awaited final of the First Nations Cup. Our finals here are between France Paca and Korea.
So welcome back here on Polo Line TV. It's great to see so many people tuning in here in this warm-up tournament, the Trippetts Challenge. You have a look at the score progression there, and you can see it was 6-all at the halfway point. White Crane were actually given a 7th goal coming in for 4th chucker, courtesy of that substitution, but it has been all Marques de Riscal. 7 goals and just 2 chuckers, dominating this second half so far. The players back in the centre of play. What an end for the final 2 minutes there of that 5th chucker. Absolutely end-to-end running Polo. As it's here now with Pinello. Pinello, are we going to see a little bit more moments of magic from this player who really shone during that US season, playing alongside Perotto Cambiasso and Alejandro Asnar, it should be said, in that US Open? As it's here now, taken off in by Chris Mackenzie. Mackenzie with the open backhand, looking now for Santi Sonatas. Sonatas on the near side, looking now to give it to Cassette. Cassette hooked out the play there by Criado. Falls now for Mackenzie again. Mackenzie coming through here now for Marques de Riscal. Chris Mackenzie has to look down the ground to see if he's got any teammates out in front. Chooses to keep it himself. Chris Mackenzie takes it up to the 60, just bounces off a pony. And in defence now comes Tommy Pinello. Pinello showing his cool in front of goal, bringing it round in front of Cassette. Is it still here now with Pinello? Cassette being ridden hard there by Criado, so it's still there with Pinello, stolen by Cassette. Cassette with the backhand, dogged determination by Cassette, giving it to Chris Mackenzie, no mistake at all, and that was great work by Sapper. Cassette did not give the White Crane players a chance to breathe. 14 goals to 10 now. Chris Mackenzie getting his second field goal of the afternoon. And a constant fixture in the high goal circuit over the years now, Chris Mackenzie. Comes back superbly mounted. His father, former 7-goal international South African player Buster McKenzie, doing so much work together on his string, and it's great to see him back here once again with Marques de Riscal as it's fair with Sonadis, seeing Asnar out in front as Sonadis gives it to Asnar. Asnar running away, picks up a bounce of a ball, one more shot to goal, couldn't quite pick it up, and this one will go wide to the right hand side. Asnar coming close once more. 14 goals to 10. White Crane with a lot of work to do in the remaining 5 minutes or so in this contest. 3 o'clock, our second game of the day here, British summertime, will be UAE versus La Magdeleine. Really excited to see those sides. Finalists, winners I should say, and semi-finalists of the British Open last year, fighting it out in this Trippetts Challenge Cup this afternoon. This is left behind there by Polo, still under pressure then Sapper Gasset. We've seen in this second half how Marques de Riscal has sent Sapper Gasset so much closer to Polo. As the two come together again, there it's still there with Sapper Gasset, sends Polo to the left, now takes it to the left of James Harper, hits the shot down the ground by Sapper Gasset. Criado now coming back in defence here for White Crane. Criado takes it up across his own goal mouth, has a look down the ground, he's got Calvin Ansari out in front. Polo blocking the man as Criado still keeps control of the ball, taking it up into a little bit of space now. Now Polo calls for a pass, Criado keeps it himself. Polo now is gone, and that's where the ball is heading. It's Polo reaching out in front. Asnar, great defensive play by Asnar, but it's into the pony of Calvin Ansari. Calvin Ansari can't get there. It's going to be Polo. Oh, he just skews it wide to the left-hand side. The pressure of the defence just forcing Polo into the shot to the left, and that will be the halfway point of the sixth chukker. And we will see the players go off and change again. As and when the game does conclude here live on Polo Line TV, please do hang around. We're going to attempt to show you a quick highlight of some of the best goals that we've seen in this game. And we have seen some real crackers, whether it's Tommy Polo, Sapper Gasset, Chris McKenzie, Santi Sonadis, Criado, Harper, Asnar. They've all had their go at goals today, and some real beauties to hang on and watch. So players back on. A little game of cat and mouse going on as Asnar looks to take away James Harper. Just taking attention, it's about on the 60-yard mark. It's good work done by Calvert and Sorry to take Asnar away. So back on the back line, it's here with Chris McKenzie. McKenzie to his right-hand side goes Cassette. To the left-hand side goes Sonadis. It's going to go in between the two of them, so Sonadis has to come back quickly. Look to send it straight back to Cassette, but there in defence is Criado. Criado here for White Crane. Coming in quickly there is Cassette, still here with Criado. Santi Sonadis, lovely flick, giving it back now to Cassette. James Harper eventually has managed to get round and put himself into the equation here. Sapper Cassette hooked up the play. Lovely spin round there by Polo. In there as well is Sonadis, and Sonadis will eventually come onto the play here for Marques de Riscal. A little bit of a hit into the open space, picked up now by Criado. Criado now has a little bit of space, but the ground just not doing him a favour. It has been wet, as we've mentioned, at Cowdray over the past few days, just beginning to dig up a little bit as we do hear a whistle go. And it was Criado there. You saw it just deflected off the pony, came round in front of Sapper Cassette on the line. And this one will be in favour of Marques de Riscal. Just over 2.5 minutes to go in this sixth and final chukker. And it is Chris McKenzie. McKenzie sends it up right, looking for Cassette. Cassette beat into it. Oh, look at the dummy backhand play there. Tommy Polo so confident on the ball. Going down the ground, calling for the pass is James Harper. This one has worked for White Crane. It's James Harper out in front, just slows it down. Then next shot through the centre of the goal. A beautiful finish there by James Harper. And they do get one back. There's still time in this game. It was great play by Tommy Polo, finding James Harper at all the time just to slow it down. And a beautiful textbook neck shot through the centre of the goal. So umpires counting down. They won't wait for all the players to come back. It's here now with Mackenzie again. Mackenzie, Santi Sonadas just had to watch out there, coming back from an offside position. So it's open backhand played by Harper. Looking to see if he now... Sorry, it was Pinello picking it up. Pinello behind him there is Criado. Still here now with Pinello. Criado doing some work, taking away the player, giving now Tommy Pinello the space just to take it to the left-hand side of Cassette. Watching him closely still there is Criado. Criado now gives an option to the right-hand side. Called off the play again by Pinello as they just inch their way up towards the 60. Pinello, Cassette not giving himself any space. It's here now. Sapper Cassette steals it. Called for the open backhand. Went tail instead. Mackenzie has to be careful there as the line is picked up again by Pinello. Pinello now to the left-hand side of Sonadas. Leaves it in turn for Criado. Criado will pick it up and take it out left, giving himself some space here for White Crane. Sends it up towards the goal. It's going to go close, but it's wide to the left-hand side. And as we go into the final minute of this contest, you would feel that could well be that for the chances of White Crane in this contest. They will come again, but 3 goals separating them, under a minute to go as Sapper Cassette brings the ball back into play. Cassette can just play keep ball here if he fancies it. All the players running away from him and giving him space. So Sapper Cassette just takes it up over the halfway line, sends it out right, looking for one of Sonadas or Chris Mackenzie. Sonadas, he just took away the man, allows Chris Mackenzie to come through. Chris Mackenzie under pressure at the end with the shot towards the goal, and it rolls harmlessly over the back line. And you would imagine that could well be that for the action in the opening Trippetts Challenge Cup game. They will bring the ball back into play one more time, but it is going to be Marques de Riscal who get their first victory of this tournament as they do come in, shot down the ground. There goes the buzzer. Let's hear it for both sets of players. It was Marques de Riscal on the back of a really impressive second half performance who get the victory, 14 goals to 11 up against White Crane. Both these teams start their Queen's Cup campaigns in the next few days. Please do keep your eyes on all the news on the Polo Line TV app on how they get on before they make their way back here to Cowdray for the British Open at the end of June. But from all of us here at our first contest of the day, a big thank you. We will see you at 3 o'clock as we see UAE take on La Magdeleine. As here on the live stream, please don't go anywhere for a bit as we will attempt to show you some of the highlights. Sapper Cassette will play on the screen there. Definitely a highlight reel on his own through that contest. Before those, we also have the stats. It was tied up for field goals and throw-ins in the first half, but you saw here how Marques de Riscal, they did run away. 10 goals to 6 in terms of field goals. Their penalties pretty even, 4 out of 5 for each of those sides, dominating the throw-ins as well in that second half. No safety 60s, no yellow cards, a good, clean game. And in the end, it was a great performance. Great to see Lewis Asnar coming on in the second half as well, as now we jump to some of the best goals of the contest. This one here was the moment of Alejandro Asnar running away. It was great play by him. It was Chris Mackenzie and Sapper Cassette combining before. On this one here, you saw Pinello just seeing a little bit of space open up as it will in a second, and hit a beautiful shot from about 80 yards out from goal, making no mistake whatsoever. White Crane, they had some great moments. Like we say, their first year in the 22-goal level here at Cowdray. They're going to have a great season ahead for sure. As we have another look. This one was Harper going through and hitting the big neck shot. So effective from those positions. Pinello as well. You see why he's left the US season with so much excitement. Sapper Cassette, what a moment this was. Just look how he's able to get away in front. That one looked like it was curling left, ended up going right through the middle of the goal. And this one again. You look over the years, the highlights, the replays of so many goals similar to this one by the 9-goal player. He's been 10 goals, of course. Sapper Cassette, he'll have his eyes on getting back to the pinnacle. This one, Chris Mackenzie was able to pick up on the bounce there. Wonderful shot under pressure all the way from the South African player, Chris McKenzie. Got a hat-trick of goals in this contest, as we have a now look at the final one of this highlight reel. And what a way to see it as well. Sapagaset shot this one from long out, that one early on in this contest. And all of us here from Polo Line TV here on Lawrence Ground number 1. It's been great to see you joining from all over the world, and we will be back 3 o'clock British summertime for the second game of the day in the Trippetts Challenge.